So before I move on to the next question, guys, I would like you to explain one common formula or concept. So for example, if we have a number n, right? If we have a number n and we have to find out that how many factors of this number n exist, like how many factors of this number n are possible, then how to calculate that? So the formula for that is given by, for example, if we can write n is equals to, let's suppose a to the power p into b to the power q into c to the power r, and so on. If we can write n as this, I'll explain you with an example as well, but just listen me. If n is equals to a to the power p into b to the power q into c to the power r, right? Where a comma b comma c are prime numbers. So this is one condition, that a, b, c should be prime numbers, right? Then the total factors, is given by the formula 1 plus p into 1 plus q into 1 plus r. This is into 1 plus r, and so on. So this is the formula that you should learn, that if there is a number n which can be expressed in this form, right, where a, b, c are prime numbers, then the total factors of n, is equals to 1 plus p into 1 plus q into 1 plus r, and so on. Okay. Now let me give you an example and tell you what I mean. For example, I take the number 12, right? I take the number 12. So, and let's factorize 12. Let's do the prime factorization of 12. So what is the prime factorization of 12? So we can write 2 6 2 3 and 3 times 1, right? So we can write 12 as 2 into 2 into 3. So this is what is called prime factorization, right? This concept is called prime factorization, where you break down the number into its factors, where each factor is a prime number, right? I hope this should be clear. So 12 can be written as 2 into 2 into 3, right? Now what is 2 in this? Can be written as 2 square into 3. So we can write 12 as 2 square into 3, right? Now see one thing, we have written 12 as 2 square into 3, and we know that 2 and 3 both are prime numbers. So basically it's of the same form, a to the power p into b to the power q into c to the power r, and so on. So we have broken down this 12 into this. Now if we want to calculate the total factors of 12, how much will this be? According to the formula, it will be 1 plus p into 1 plus q into 1 plus r, and so on. So in this case it will be 1 plus 2 into 1 plus, this is 1, so 1, right? That's it, because there are two numbers over here. So 1 plus 2, similarly 1 plus p into 1 plus q into 1 plus r. So 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 1, right? So how much is this? This is 3 times of 2, which is 6, right? That means there are a total of 6 factors of 12. So if you see the factors of 12, you should have total 6 factors. So if you are given any number and you have to calculate the total number of factors for that particular number, first break down that number into its multiple factors, do the prime factorization, and then just keep on adding 1 and multiplying. So 1 plus 2, 1 plus this, similarly, and just multiply that, and you will get the total number of factors, right? Now if I tell you one thing, for example, let's talk about 12, right? So what are the factors of 12? 1 is a factor, right? 1 is always a factor. 2 is a factor, right? 3 is a factor, right? 3 4s are 12, 2 6 are 12. 4 is a factor, 4 3s are 12, right? 6 is a factor, 6 2s are 12. 7 is not, 8 is not, 9 is not, 10 is not, 11 is not, and then 12, because obviously 12 ones are 12. So if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there are 6 factors of 12. And what did you get as the answer? 6. So basically, if you have to calculate the total number of factors for any given number, just use this formula and you will be able to easily calculate within like 10-20 seconds how many total factors are there for any given number. So I hope this should be. So let's move on to the next question, guys. In this question, we are given that k is a positive integer, right? And k has two prime factors only, which is 3 and 7. So k is a number which has only two prime factors, which is k and 7, 3 and 7, right? We also know that k is a multiple of 9. We know that k is a multiple of 9. Okay. We also know that k has total 6 positive factors, including 1 and k itself, right? And we have to compare k and 189. So tell me one thing, if we know that a number, if there is a number n, and if we write it in the form of a to the power p into b to the power q into c to the power r and so on, right? So total factors, will be equal to 1 plus p into 1 plus q into 1 plus r. I hope this should be clear. I've told you about this in the previous question, like in the previous video. So total factors will be this, right? Where a, b, c are prime numbers. Okay. Now in the given question, we know that k has only two prime factors, 3 and 7, which means we can write k as, for example, 3 to the power a into 7 to the power b, because k has only two prime factors, 3 and 7. So we can write k in the form of 3 to the power a into 7 to the power b, right? I hope this is clear. Okay. Now one more thing is given, that k is a multiple of 9, which means that it can be written as 3 square, right? So we can write k as 3 square into 7 to the power b, because it's a multiple of 9. So we can write 9 as 3 square, which means k is equals to 3 square into 7 to the power b. I hope this should be clear. Now tell me one thing, this is k, right? And k is 3 square into 7 to the power b. And now if I tell you what are the total number of factors of k, so total factors of k will be how much? We can use this formula, right? Because a, b, c are prime numbers, 3 and 7 are prime numbers, so totally correct. So what will it be? So this is basically 1 plus the power of a into 1 plus the power of b and so on. So we can write it as 1 plus the power of 3 over here, which is 2, into 1 plus the power over here, which is b. I hope this should be clear, right? So this turns out to be 1 plus 2 is 3, and this is b plus 1. So this is 3 times of b plus 1. This is 3 times of b plus 1, right? So these are the total factors of k. But in the question, we know that k has total 6 factors. This is given in the question that k has a total number of 6 positive factors, right? So this we can make it equal to 6, because the total factors of k are this much and this is equal to 6. So now let's solve. If we solve this, so we will get b as 1. If you solve this equation, 3 times of b plus 1 is equals to 6, so you will get b is equals to 1. This means that k can be written as 3 square into 7 to the power b. And what is b? 1. So that means 7 to the power 1. I hope this should be clear, right? Now if you solve this, how much will this be? 3 squares are 9, so 9 into 7, which is 63, right? So that means the value of k is 63. I hope this is clear. So since the value of k is 63, so k is equals to 63, right? And obviously we know that 63 is less than 189. So 189 is bigger. So the answer is B. I hope this should be clear.